past weeks or so. Has that continued into this week after last
Yeah,
week?
like yesterday, we spent an hour and a half on offense and about a half an hour on defending them. We'll flip-flop that today. But yesterday was like all offense. Now today they all came in. We have one guy left that has to shoot, so everybody shot today. A minimum of a half an hour, one-on-one, or one with actually 3 people rebounding for them, so they get up a lot of shots. This morning starting at 8, so everybody's had their shots in today, and then we'll go about an hour and a half here for practice today. Yesterday we were way longer, two and a half, which is not, with a lot of talking, not a lot of teaching when we got to the defensive side. Offense, we were, because this team pressures you so much, and there's so much ball pressure and denial, and they're the best in the league at it. It's not something you see every day, so we're preparing for that onslaught.
We have talked about this a lot recently, just the play of Lamar. Have you had a conversation with him, or did you have a conversation with him in the past couple of weeks about just stepping up as far as being a leader?
No, you know what? He's taking it on his own, and he's gotten better and better. I mean, I was close to putting back in the starting lineup earlier, and probably should have, because you see we're so much better with him, and especially the way he's playing. Like, that was the consummate point guard play against Missouri. 9 assists, phenomenal job defensively, leading, talking, and he's played well. He played very well against Alabama, he played well at Kentucky, and he's really, and he's putting a lot of time in, not just in practice. I mean, he's, the point where, it's a fine line. We don't want you going 4 hours a day because we need your legs. But he shot it well today. He and Tyson had really good shooting practices yesterday in our practice.
Still looking for a road win. Is there any reoccurring problems that you've seen in the past road games, or is it all kind of on an individual
the other
basis?
teams are good. That's one of the problems. But bottom line is we've been right there. We've had our opportunity. We weren't close enough in Cincinnati or Florida, but the others we've had a chance. So we just got to close one out, and confident we will.
Let's have it turn on. You had mentioned that Lamar has put more work in. Is that before practice, after practice, both?
In the morning, especially prior to practice. So like on game day or last game, he was there an hour before the game, before shoot around, and down there for another hour. So that was 2 hours. Then they're an hour and a half before the game starts. So I mean, I always worry about day of the game, making sure you have your legs. It's a common debate, but he's putting a lot of time in, and a lot, and it shows. I mean, guys, like Q right now is putting a lot of time in. And I'm really seeing the benefits of it. I mean, he was incredibly efficient in our last game and played great defense, so an all-around game. This guy scores 5 points. He has 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. To go 7 for 9 from the field, I mean, that's an outstanding game.
Why do you think a guy like Lamar is putting in more work nowadays?
I think part of it is, just getting healthy again, being out for 2 months wasn't an easy thing, and fighting your way back from that. And I think he's just really motivated. I think he's really excited. And I was talking with Coach Williams after the game. I mean, when he plays like that, there's not many people who can defend him. I mean, he's pretty darn good when he's playing that way, especially being that distributor. And he's shooting the ball better. We're going to see that as well. In the remaining games, I believe, because he's being more patient. He's letting it come to him. My favorite play of the last game that he made was he stole the ball, made a great play. He had a layup, and he just said, "Here, Q, go dunk it." I mean, I love that when you see a guy who turns down a layup to give his teammate a layup or a dunk. And that's the other play, and I mentioned this last night at the radio show. The play of the game for all of us was Abdul finally shooting a left-handed jump hook when we've been on bended knee begging him to go to that thing. I don't know if you guys saw the bench, the whole bench. I mentioned after the game, jumped up. That was so great, and we were laughing about it yesterday, because adding that to his repertoire is going to make him much more effective turning to that right shoulder.
On Abdul, you mentioned that you wanted him to take more shots. He was 5 of 6 from the field against Missouri, right? Is 6 a good shot number for him?
It just depends, but what I like is playing through him more. Like Q made a concerted effort to get him the ball multiple times early in the game, and we got it to him to start the second half. And playing through him, because he is a decent passer back out of the post. But playing through him, getting the ball there, because he's still looking to pass first, but want him to look to shoot first when he's one-on-one. And but we want to get him more touches so it collapses the defense. If you're just playing out on the perimeter and you have no inside attack, I don't think you're nearly as effective in college basketball.
And you mentioned him going to his left once in the last game. And you've also mentioned he's not naturally aggressive offensively with his own shot. Is he a guy that's still kind of adding things to his arsenal, to his game?
Yeah, he's still learning, but he's always been a passer first and a shooter second, and we're trying to flip that. And all his teammates. So the great thing is, every single teammate is like, you got to shoot, man. You got to go to that left team. He's like, they're coaching him. And that's fun when you have when your team is coaching each other. That's beautiful.
What are you expecting to see when you go to Columbia tomorrow?
A really aggressive, physical South Carolina team with 2 starting bigs that started in the Final Four last year. They're really good, playing through them. Silva is the most physical and aggressive player in our conference. Plays with great aggression and physicality. Plays extremely hard and with passion. And then Kostar, I'm really impressed with. I was here as a freshman. His skill level, his ability to shoot the 3, put the ball on the floor, pass. I mean, he's exceptional. And their guards, they have 2 fifth-year transfers, Myers and Booker, that are really coming on and are very good players for him. So they're a good team. They beat Kentucky, they beat Florida at Florida, they beat Georgia at Georgia. I mean, they have some outstanding wins. And they're a formidable team. And they'll have a great crowd, and it'll be a game. They play different defensively, even more so at home than on the road. And they're very aggressive, denial with their defense, all passes, and really try to rev you up and force you to backdoor, try to speed you up, try to get you to play faster than you normally would, and then force turnovers and get plays out of that. That's the game plan.
Keyshawn's a guy that's still kind of getting his feet wet a little bit, but how big of an upside does he have?
He has a great upside. I was with him this morning at 8 a.m. shooting, and really excited about him. He had a good practice yesterday. Unfortunately, Ryan had to send him to the health center because he's been feeling bad the last 24 hours, and we were concerned it was the flu. They said it's not the flu, just a cold, but he's been feeling down, and his ankle has been acting up, so he had that dealt with the other day on our last off day, I think it was. But he has tremendous upside. He's physical, he's willing to be very physical and aggressive with his body. He has gigantic hands. He has great hands. I think his upside is big time for us in his future. He's going to play tomorrow. I mean, this is a game where they average 29 foul shots attempted per game. There's going to be fouls in this game. That's how they play. We want to stay out of foul trouble, but that's where this thing's headed, because that's how they play. So we're going to do our best to stay out of foul trouble and game plan towards that end. But 29 foul shots attempted per game is a lot of foul shots attempted. Thank you.
Nice stuff.
Thanks. Good. Thanks.